Many people know Karen Rohlf through her Dressage Naturally program. Her book, Dressage Naturally, has been the go-to resource for riders who want to combine dressage and natural horsemanship. It has been picked up by Galactica Publishing in Poland and Cadmos Publishing in Germany. Her video classroom and newsletter reach around the world. Images of her riding bareback, playing at liberty, and doing dressage in a halter have caught the attention of riders who wish to do dressage but also enjoy the partnership that natural horsemanship can give them.
You know, I have the best of both worlds. And it's ironic because dressage and natural horsemanship people will each say that they have the best way for the horse to be and they give the best foundation for a horse. But more often than not, each would disagree completely with what the other one's doing. So I feel really lucky that I was able to sort through the seemingly conflicting information and just focus on the cause and effect of each of the strategies and pick out the most positive, helpful ones to help create my vision of what I want to do with horses.
Karen was the typical little girl in love with horses. She started naturally, in a backyard, learning to ride bareback first, and spent a lot of non-demanding time with her horse. She was a member of the United States Pony Club, earning her HA rating, and she also evented during this time.
It was at a fox hunt that my pony club was invited to, where the horse I was riding took off on me, went right through the hounds. The huntsman had to gallop up and rescue me, and he led me up to my mom and promptly told her that I should be taken to dressage lessons to learn how to control my horse. It's actually pretty embarrassing, but a pivotal point in my life.
That event set up the circumstance for Karen to later become a student of international trainer, competitor and judge Ann Gribbons. Under Ann's supervision, with once-a-week lessons, Karen and her horse Brave Tom went from zero dressage to the most advanced levels. They won many regional and national FEI awards. They represented the United States 4 times on the silver medal winning team at the FEI North American Young Riders Championships. One year, they won the individual bronze medal. Captain Andy Desenay, the father of the Young Riders program in the United States and United States Dressage Federation Hall of Fame inductee, said of Karen's performance at the championships, "In my view, the most valuable performance was that of Karen Rohlf. She made her horse Brave Tom herself during the years and is epitomizing young ridership."
My experience with Brave Tom was the experience of a lifetime. He was 7, I was 15, and neither one of us knew anything about dressage or even wanted to do dressage. We were doing pony club at the time and eventing. And I just trailered in once a week for lessons, and other than that we practiced at home, literally alone in the bushes. It really shouldn't have worked, but it did. What I learned by going through that process, the first time with one horse from beginning to end, forever changed my opinion of what you can achieve by simply not knowing that something can't be done. And I really learned the value of a progressive training system.
After Karen graduated from university with a bachelor's degree in biology, Ann Gribbons invited her to be a full-time trainer at Knoll Farm in Brentwood, New York.
Yeah, Ann was an amazing mentor for me. She's not only an excellent teacher, but a trainer, a rider, competitor, breeder, and judge, and a real pioneer of dressage in the U.S. And I started taking lessons with her in 1980. And during my time there, I watched her take 8 to 12 horses from zero to Grand Prix. And a lot of those horses ended up long-listed and short-listed and on teams for the U.S. So I really got a great experience to be around international quality movement and she was so generous to allow me to ride her horses at every stage along the process. And that was just gold for my experience with dressage. Anne is a petite woman, and she rides great big athletic warm bloods, so her system had to be focused on being smart, light, and correct. The training was intense and focused, but force was not the way at all.
Karen consistently had a full teaching schedule and often had a waiting list. She quickly gained a reputation for being an excellent trainer and teacher who enjoyed everything from the serious competitor to the horses who had special needs that perhaps other trainers were not as interested in. She personally developed 10 student horse pairs progressively through all the levels from training level through FEI, some in full training and some simply through once-a-week lessons. Keeping in mind it takes approximately 8 years to reach Grand Prix, it was here that Karen also developed her teaching skills and her ability to form lasting, professional teacher-student relationships. Her students and horses in training have won champion or reserve champion at every level at regional finals. One student followed in Karen's footsteps and was selected to represent the United States twice at the North American Young Riders Championships with 2 different horses trained by Karen. One horse was a former jumper that started dressage training at age 12 and went on to do Grand Prix. At a United States Young Rider team training session, acclaimed trainer Conrad Schumacher asked to ride the horse, and he commented that the horse's flying changes were perfect. Karen passed the U.S. Dressage Federation's L-Judge program with distinction and was accepted into the U.S. Equestrian Federation's Small R Judge program. She completed the training, passed the tests, and was in the middle of completing her apprentice judging hours when she realized it was not truly where she wanted to put her focus.
I realized my heart just wasn't in the judging. My joke to myself is that it all just seemed so judgmental. But even as a competitor, I found myself not really caring so much about the placings or even the percentages. And I realized that maybe everything that I was looking for couldn't be quantified on a scorecard. So although the road I was on was still really fun for me, it made me take a really good look at exactly where it was heading.
Usually, the only reason a dressage rider would come to natural horsemanship was if they were having problems with a difficult horse. Karen's experience was just the opposite.
I was perfectly happy with my dressage training, and the only reason I started natural horsemanship was because I had a Grand Prix horse who was nearing retirement, and I wanted something fun and simple and easy to do with him. I didn't expect the profoundly positive effect it had on him, and that really got my attention.
Karen began playing with natural horsemanship with several horses. A couple of years later, Pat and Linda Pirelli generously invited her to study with them in their Florida and Colorado facilities. She went into full student mode, immersing in natural horsemanship with 3 horses, only picking her head up a few years later to try and assimilate all the information. Karen spent the subsequent years organizing the information she gained. She now shares her perspective with like-minded students through her Dressage Naturally teachings.
Dressage and natural horsemanship have each taken turns criticizing each other, but I've had such a beautiful experience in both. Sometimes people hear what I do and they think that can't be real dressage, but others have told me that this is what dressage is really supposed to be about. In the end, I have to take all my experience and create my own vision for myself and my horses. I don't see myself as doing anything new or magical. I don't think there is any new information. Everything we need to know about horses has been available for as long as there's been a horse to observe and to listen to. But there are different perspectives. I see myself acting as a bridge or translator between the dressage and natural horsemanship worlds. And I enjoy the craft of explaining what I do. I love teaching. And now I've created a space where I can teach and train that helps me remember that I'm still just that little girl in love with horses. I surround myself with students who want to put the relationship first and learn dressage. Students who also want to create stronger partnerships and healthy biomechanics by combining the principles of natural horsemanship with the art of dressage.